Tyler pushed me hard. I stumbled backward, arms flailing, and hit the pool water flat on my back. "Swim, old man!" he shouted, laughing as I surfaced, gasping. Water burned my nose, my shirt plastered to my chest. When I wiped my eyes and looked up, I saw everyone at the party frozen, staring. And standing there in the back, drink in hand, was Tyler's boss. The man who'd just arrived 10 minutes earlier. The man Tyler had spent all week telling me about. The man whose opinion mattered more than anything to my son-in-law's career. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The water was cold. Early May in Michigan, pool hadn't warmed up yet, maybe 60 degrees. I treaded water, watching Tyler's face change as he registered who'd just witnessed what he'd done. His boss, Richard Brennan, CEO of the consulting firm where Tyler worked, set his drink down on the patio table. Didn't say anything, just watched. I swam to the ladder, pulled myself out. Water streamed off my khakis, my button-down shirt, my leather belt. My granddaughter Emma stood near her mother, my daughter Sarah. She was 7, her birthday party. 20 kids running around, parents chatting, typical suburban celebration. Until Tyler decided to be funny. "Jesus, Dad," Sarah said, rushing over with a towel. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." I took the towel, looked at Tyler. He was 34, tall, worked out 5 days a week, loved telling people about it. Right now he looked smaller than I'd ever seen him. "It was just a joke," Tyler said. His voice came out wrong, too loud. "Walter's a good sport. Right, Walter?" I dried my face. Didn't answer. Richard Brennan still hadn't moved, just stood there watching, taking it all in. "Let me get you some dry clothes," Sarah said. "I'm good." I handed her back the towel, walked past Tyler, past the kids who'd stopped playing, past the other parents who suddenly found their drinks very interesting. My shoes squelched with every step. I made it to my truck in the driveway. The drive home took 18 minutes. I know because I watched the clock on the dashboard the whole time. Heater on full blast, but I was still shivering. Not from the cold, from rage. Pure, clean rage that started in my gut and spread through my chest until I could barely breathe. Tyler had been married to Sarah for 9 years. 9 years of holidays, birthdays, Sunday dinners. 9 years of me biting my tongue every time he made a comment about my age, my clothes, my truck, my house. "Just jokes," Sarah always said. "He doesn't mean anything by it." But he did mean it. Every single time. The first year, he'd asked why I didn't just sell my house and move into a retirement community. "More appropriate for your age," he'd said. I was 59 then, hardly ancient. But Tyler saw anyone over 30 as 1 foot in the grave. The second year, he'd suggested I let him manage my finances. "No offense, but your generation isn't great with money." My generation had survived 3 recessions and paid off a mortgage in 20 years. His generation financed cars for 7 years and complained about student loans. The third year, he'd started calling me old man in front of people. Like it was affectionate, like we were buddies. We weren't buddies. I pulled into my driveway. Small house, 2 bedrooms, built in 1967. Martha and I had bought it for $32,000. Raised Sarah here. Martha died 6 years ago. Heart attack. Sudden. One day she was planting tulips in the side garden. Next day, she was gone. Tyler hadn't come to the funeral. Business trip to Denver. Couldn't be rescheduled. Sarah had apologized for him, made excuses. I'd let her because that's what fathers do. We let our daughters believe their husbands are better men than they are. Inside, I stripped off my wet clothes, stood in the shower until the water ran hot, until my skin turned red, until I stopped shaking. Then I put on dry clothes and sat at the kitchen table. My phone buzzed. Text from Sarah. "I'm so sorry. Tyler feels terrible. Please don't be upset." Terrible. Right. He felt terrible that his boss saw him push his father-in-law into a pool. Not terrible that he'd done it. Just terrible about the timing. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my laptop, found the folder I'd been keeping for the last 3 years. Ever since Tyler had jokingly suggested at Thanksgiving that maybe I should think about assisted living. "Just planning ahead," he'd said, grinning around a mouthful of turkey. That night, after everyone left, I'd started documenting things. Little things. Comments, behavior, patterns. I'm an engineer by trade. 37 years at Ford, manufacturing division. I know how to track data, how to spot trends, how to build a case. Tyler had borrowed money from me 4 times. Small amounts at first. $500 for car repairs. $1,000 for Emma's preschool tuition when cash was tight. Then larger. $3,000 when they needed a new furnace. $7,000 when Tyler's sales commissions came in lower than expected last year. Total loaned, $11,500. Total repaid, 0. Every time I'd asked about it, gently, because Sarah would get defensive, Tyler would say, "Next month, Walter. Things are tight right now." Next month never came. I'd also tracked every time they'd asked me to babysit. 83 times in the last 2 years. I'd said yes to 79 of them. The 4 times I'd said no, Sarah hadn't spoken to me for days, punishing me with silence for having the audacity to have my own life. But I showed up. Always. Because Emma was my granddaughter, and I loved her. Because Sarah was my daughter, and despite everything, despite Tyler, despite the way she let him treat me, I loved her too. The folder had other things. Screenshots of Tyler's Facebook posts, the ones where he talked about younger employees being more valuable to companies. The ones where he shared articles about the burden of aging populations on healthcare systems. The ones where he'd written, and I quote, "Maybe mandatory retirement at 65 isn't such a bad idea. Keep the economy moving with fresh blood." I was 68. Still worked part-time as a consultant for manufacturing firms. Still paid my own bills. Still drove, still cooked, still did my own yard work. Fresh blood, like I was already dead. My phone buzzed again. Sarah calling this time. I let it go to voicemail. I thought about Martha, what she'd say about all this. She'd liked Tyler at first, thought he was ambitious, driven. "Good provider," she'd said after meeting him. But toward the end, before she died, she'd started seeing through it. One night, after a particularly bad dinner where Tyler had spent 2 hours talking about himself, she'd squeezed my hand under the table. Later, in bed, she'd whispered, "I hope Sarah's happy." Not Sarah's happy. Hope she was. Martha knew. She always knew. The voicemail notification popped up. I played it. "Dad, please pick up." Sarah's voice. Strained. Tyler didn't mean it. He was showing off, trying to be funny. His boss laughed. "It's fine. Everything's fine. Emma's asking where Grandpa went. Please call me back." His boss didn't laugh. I was there. Richard Brennan hadn't made a sound, just watched with those cold executive eyes, calculating, judging. I deleted the voicemail, made myself a sandwich, ham and Swiss bit of mustard, ate it standing at the counter. The house was quiet. Always quiet now. 6 years and I still wasn't used to it. After Martha died, Sarah had suggested I move in with them. "You shouldn't be alone," she'd said. I'd declined, politely, because I knew what would happen. Tyler would turn me into live-in help, free babysitting, free lawn care, free punching bag for his jokes. Better to be alone and have dignity than surrounded and have none. My phone rang again, different number. I answered. "Walter, it's Richard Brennan." I set down my sandwich. "Mr. Brennan, call me Richard. Listen, I wanted to apologize for leaving your granddaughter's party so abruptly. I had to take a call." "No apology needed. I also wanted to ask you something." Pause. "Are you all right?" That was quite a fall into the pool. Fall. Interesting word choice. Not push. "I'm fine. Dry clothes, hot shower, good as new." "Glad to hear it." Another pause. "Walter, I'm going to be direct. What happened there? That concerned me. Tyler works for me. Has for 3 years. Good numbers, decent client relationships. But I don't tolerate certain behaviors." I didn't say anything. Let him continue. "The way he spoke to you, the physical act of pushing you, in front of children, no less. That's not someone I want representing my firm." He cleared his throat. "I'm going to be monitoring the situation closely. I wanted you to know that. Appreciate the call. You have my direct number now. If you need anything, don't hesitate." He hung up. I stood there, holding the phone. Richard Brennan, CEO, had just given me his direct number and told me he was watching Tyler, monitoring the situation. The rage in my chest shifted, cooled, hardened into something else, something sharper, more focused. I opened my laptop again, added a new file to the folder. Richard Brennan, witness, typed up exactly what happened. Time, date, location, names of everyone present. What Tyler said, what I did, what Richard did, documentation, evidence. The engineer in me couldn't help it. Track the data, build the case. My phone buzzed. Text from Tyler this time. "Hey Walter, really sorry about earlier. Got carried away. You know how it is. Let me take you to lunch this week. Make it up to you." You know how it is. Like I was supposed to understand. Like pushing someone into a pool was just something that happened between men. Horseplay. Fun. I didn't respond to that either. Instead, I went to the garage, found the box of Martha's things I'd been meaning to sort through, sat on the concrete floor and opened it. Photos mostly. Her and Sarah at various ages. Sarah's baby pictures, school plays, high school graduation, wedding day. In the wedding photos, Sarah looked so happy. Tyler looked proud, like he'd won something. Maybe he thought he had. Sarah was beautiful, smart, had her mother's kindness, her father's stubbornness. Tyler had spent their entire courtship convincing her she'd never do better than him. I found a photo of Martha holding baby Emma. Hospital room. Martha's face full of love. She'd been so excited to be a grandmother. Had lived long enough to see Emma turn one, not long enough for much else. Under the photos, I found Martha's journal. She'd kept one for years, daily entries, nothing fancy. I'd never read it. Felt like an invasion of privacy. But she was gone, and I was alone in a garage holding memories, so I opened it, flipped to the last few months before she died. Her handwriting was shaky near the end. Blood pressure medication made her hands tremble. March 15th entry. Walter pretends not to notice how Tyler talks to him. But I notice. The comments about his age, his clothes, his truck. Tyler treats him like an embarrassment. Sarah doesn't stand up for her father. That breaks my heart more than anything. April 2nd entry. Tyler borrowed $3,000, furnace replacement. I told Walter we should make them sign a promissory note. He said that's not what family does. But Tyler isn't family. Not real family. Real family doesn't take and never give back. April 28th. Entry. I'm tired. Doctor says my heart is weak. I should probably tell Walter, but he worries so much already, especially about Sarah. He thinks Tyler is going to hurt her eventually. Not physically, but emotionally, financially. I think he's right. May 3rd entry. Asked Sarah to lunch. Just us. Tried to talk to her about Tyler. She got defensive, said I never liked him. That's not true. I liked him fine until I saw who he really was. But you can't tell your children these things. They have to figure it out themselves. I just hope Walter will be okay. He's stronger than he knows. But he loves too much. That's his weakness. Last entry, May 6th. Beautiful day. Planted tulips in the side garden, red and yellow. Walter's favorites. I hope they come back every spring. Hope he sees them and thinks of me. Thinks of the good years. We had so many good years. She died May 7th. Next morning, the tulips bloomed every spring. I saw them every April, thought of her every single time. I closed the journal, put it back in the box, sat there on the concrete floor of my garage with my eyes wet and my jaw clenched. Tyler had pushed me in a pool in front of my granddaughter, in front of his boss, in front of everyone. Called me old man, like it was a joke, like I was a prop in his comedy routine, and for 9 years I'd let him, stayed quiet, kept the peace, because that's what fathers do for their daughters. But Martha was right. Tyler wasn't family, not real family. Real family doesn't humiliate you at a child's birthday party. Real family doesn't borrow money and never pay it back. Real family doesn't treat you like you're already dead. I stood up, dusted off my pants, went back inside, opened the laptop, started writing an email to richard.brennan@brennanconsulting.com. Subject, follow-up. Richard, thank you for your call earlier. I appreciate your concern. I'm writing to provide you with some context regarding my relationship with Tyler Marsh. should it become relevant to your evaluation of him as an employee. Over the past 9 years, I have loaned Tyler $11,500 for various expenses. None of this has been repaid, despite multiple gentle inquiries. I mention this not to request your intervention, but to illustrate a pattern of behavior that may be relevant to his professional conduct, particularly regarding financial responsibility and integrity. Additionally, I want you to know that today's incident was not isolated. Tyler has a history of making derogatory comments about age, both to me personally and in public forums. I've attached screenshots of several social media posts he's made regarding older workers and their value in the workplace. I'm not asking you to take any action. I simply believe you should have complete information about the character of the people representing your firm. Best regards, Walter Morrison. I attach the screenshots, the Facebook posts, the loan documentation, texts where Tyler asked for money, promised to pay it back, never did. Hit send. Phone rang immediately. Sarah, I answered. Hi, honey. Dad, what is wrong with you? Her voice sharp, angry. Tyler's been texting and calling. You're ignoring him. You're making this into a huge thing. It was an accident. He pushed me. He was joking around. You're being oversensitive. Oversensitive. That word, the one Tyler always used. You're being oversensitive, Walter. Don't be so oversensitive. Like my feelings were the problem, not his behavior. Sarah, I'm going to say something and I need you to really hear it. Your husband pushed me into a pool at your daughter's birthday party, in front of her friends, their parents, and his boss. He called me old man while doing it. That's not a joke. That's humiliation. Silence. Then, you've never liked Tyler. That's not true. Yes, it is. You've been judging him since day one. He's not good enough for me. He's not Dad. He's not perfect like you and Mom were. Your mother and I weren't perfect. You were to me. Her voice cracked. And now she's gone, and you're all I have left, and you can't just be happy for me. You can't just let things go. You have to make everything difficult. I've let things go for 9 years. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm done, Sarah. I'm done being quiet. I'm done pretending Tyler's comments are jokes. I'm done being your free babysitter and your husband's ATM and the butt of his insults. I'm done. You're done? You're done? She was crying now. So what, you're just going to walk away from me? From Emma? I'm walking away from being treated like garbage. If you can't see the difference, that's something you need to figure out. I hung up. My hand shook. Placed the phone face down on the table. Stared at the wall. The kitchen wall where Martha had hung a picture of Sarah at her college graduation, proud smile. Whole future ahead of her. So much potential. I'd failed her somehow. Let her marry a man who saw people as useful or useless, young or old, valuable or expired. Let her become someone who defended cruelty as comedy. Or maybe I hadn't failed her. Maybe this was who she'd chosen to be. And I had to accept that. The email to Richard had felt necessary in the moment. Now I wondered if I'd gone too far, pulled Tyler's boss into a family dispute. But then I remembered the screenshots, Tyler's own words. Mandatory retirement at 65. Fresh blood. Burden on the healthcare system. He'd made his beliefs public. I'd just made sure his boss knew about them. My phone stayed silent for 20 minutes. Then it erupted. Texts, calls, Sarah, Tyler, Sarah's best friend Karen, Tyler's brother. Everyone with an opinion about what I'd done wrong. I turned off the phone, poured whiskey, 2 fingers in a glass, sat in Martha's chair by the window, the one that overlooked the side garden where the tulips would bloom next April, red and yellow, her favorites, mine too. The sun set. The house got dark. I didn't turn on lights. Just sat there with my whiskey and my silence and my decision. Tomorrow, I'd deal with the fallout. Tonight, I'd sit with Martha's memory and remember what it felt like to be loved by someone who saw me as more than a joke, more than an old man, more than expired goods. Tomorrow things would change. They had to, because I'd spent 9 years being quiet and dignified and patient. And where had it gotten me? Pushed into a pool at my granddaughter's birthday party. No more. I was done drowning. 3 days passed. I didn't answer calls, didn't respond to texts. Let them stew. Let them wonder. On the 4th day, my doorbell rang. Early, 7 in the morning. I'd been up since 5, coffee and toast, reading the news on my laptop. Answered the door. Tyler stood there. Khakis and a polo shirt. Hair gelled, cologne too strong for morning. He looked tired. Good. Walter, we need to talk. All right. I didn't move. Didn't invite him in. Can I come inside? No. His jaw tightened. Look, I know you're upset. I crossed a line at the party. I get that now. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay? That's it? What else do you want me to say? I want you to accept my apology. I want things to go back to normal. Sarah's a mess. Emma keeps asking why Grandpa doesn't come over anymore. Normal. I tasted the word. Bitter. Normal was you treating me like garbage and me pretending not to notice. That normal? Jesus, Walter, I never. You pushed me into a pool, called me old man, laughed while I choked on water. Your boss watched the whole thing. That happened, Tyler. Don't rewrite it. He rubbed his face. Richard talked to me about the email you sent, about the screenshots. Did he? Yeah, he did. Made it very clear that my behavior was unacceptable and not reflective of company values. I'm on thin ice at work now because of you. Because of me. I almost laughed. You wrote those posts. You borrowed money and didn't pay it back. You pushed me. I just documented it. You sabotaged my career. No, I gave your boss information. What he does with it is his choice. Tyler stepped closer, aggressive. You're a bitter old man who can't stand that I have what you lost. Youth, success, a future. You're jealous. You think that's what this is about? I know it is. You've been undermining me since day one. Turned Sarah against me with your disapproving looks and your silent judgment. Well, guess what? She chose me. She married me. And she's going to stay married to me. You're just the sad old guy who lives alone and can't let go. I looked at him. Really looked. 34 years old. Thought he knew everything. Thought he'd figured out life. Didn't understand yet how fast it goes, how quickly you become the old guy, how time doesn't care about your abs or your hair gel or your career trajectory. Tyler, I'm going to give you some advice. You won't take it, but I'm giving it anyway. I kept my voice level, calm. The way you treat people when you think they can't hurt you says everything about your character. You thought I was powerless, an old man. What could I do? So, you pushed me, literally and figuratively. And now you're surprised there are consequences. I said I was sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Not sorry you did it. There's a difference. What do you want from me? Money? You want the 11 grand? Fine. I'll pay you back. I don't want your money. Then what? What do you want? I thought about it. What did I want? An apology? No. He'd already offered that, and it meant nothing. I wanted Tyler to understand, to see me as a person. But he couldn't. Or wouldn't. People like Tyler didn't learn until life taught them. Hard lessons. Painful ones. I want you to leave my porch. Walter, I want you to leave. Go home to Sarah. Tell her whatever you need to tell her, but I'm done with this conversation. She's going to choose me, you know that, right? You're forcing her to pick, and she's going to pick her husband. Then that's her choice. He stared at me, waiting for me to crack, to beg, to back down. I didn't. Finally, he turned and walked to his car. Expensive sedan. Financed for 6 years, probably. He drove away too fast. Tires squealing. I closed the door, poured more coffee. My hands were steady. That surprised me. The phone rang an hour later. Sarah. Dad, Tyler came to see you. He did. He said you won't accept his apology, won't even try to work things out. That's not quite accurate. Then what is accurate? I accepted his apology. I don't believe it's genuine, but I accepted it. Working things out implies going back to how things were. I won't do that. So, you're just done with us? With me and Emma? I'm done being disrespected. If Tyler can treat me with basic decency, we can have a relationship. If he can't, we can't. He's my husband, Dad. I know. You're asking me to choose. No, I'm setting a boundary. You can choose to respect it or not. That's on you. She was quiet for a long time, then, Mom would be so disappointed in you. That one hit, sharp, right in the chest. I took a breath. Your mother wrote about Tyler in her journal, near the end, before she died. What? She saw how he treated me, saw how you let him. It broke her heart. You're lying. I'm not. The journal's in a box in my garage. You're welcome to read it if you want. But I'm warning you, Sarah. It's not going to say what you think it says. I don't believe you. Okay. Stop saying okay. Stop being so calm about this. What do you want me to do? Yell? Cry? Beg you to see what's right in front of your face? I want you to be my dad, the dad who supported me, who loved me no matter what, who didn't give up on me. I am that dad. But supporting you doesn't mean enabling your husband's behavior. Loving you doesn't mean accepting abuse. And I haven't given up on you. I've given up on pretending everything's fine when it's not." She hung up. I set the phone down, looked at Martha's picture on the wall. "Did I do the right thing?" I asked her. She smiled back, frozen in time, offering no answers. The tulips outside were dormant now, wouldn't bloom until spring. But they were there, underground, waiting. That's what I was doing, waiting. For Sarah to see, for Tyler to grow up, for something to change, or maybe not. Maybe this was it, the permanent break, the thing you can't come back from. Families split all the time, parents and children stop speaking. It happens. Maybe it was happening to me. I went to the garage, found Martha's journal, brought it inside, photographed the pages I'd read, the ones about Tyler, about Sarah, about me, texted them to Sarah without comment. Then I put the journal away, back in the box, back in the garage, back with the memories. My phone stayed quiet the rest of the day, and the next day, and the day after that. Emma's 8th birthday came and went. No invitation. Sarah posted photos on Facebook. Cake, presents, Tyler with his arm around Sarah. Happy family. Just the three of them. I looked at the photos for longer than I should have. Emma had gotten so big. 8 years old. Growing up fast. Would she remember me? The grandpa who used to babysit? Who built her a toy box for her 5th birthday? Who taught her to ride a bike without training wheels? Or would Tyler's version become the truth? The bitter old man who abandoned them over nothing, who couldn't take a joke, who chose pride over family. I closed Facebook, closed the laptop, sat in the silence I was getting used to. A week later, Richard Brennan called again. "Walter, it's Richard." "Hello, Richard." "I wanted to update you. Tyler Marsh is no longer with Brennan Consulting." I sat up straighter. "You fired him?" "We parted ways. Mutual decision." Code for fired. "His behavior at the party, combined with his social media presence and what you shared about his financial conduct, it painted a picture. Not someone we want representing us." "I didn't mean for that to happen." "Didn't you?" His voice wasn't accusatory, just curious. "Walter, I've been in business 40 years. I can spot a calculated move. You knew what sending that email would do." He was right. I had known. Maybe not consciously. But some part of me understood that Richard Brennan didn't tolerate certain behaviors, that he'd act on the information. "Tyler made his own choices," I said. "He did. And now he's facing consequences. I wanted you to know. Also wanted to tell you, I'm impressed. Not many people have the spine to stand up to family, especially at your age, when most people just want peace." "I tried peace. Didn't work out." He laughed. Short bark. "No, it rarely does. Take care of yourself, Walter. You need anything, you still have my number." He hung up. I sat there holding the phone. Tyler was fired. Had been working at that firm for 3 years. Good salary, benefits. Now unemployed. Because of me. Partly because of me. The guilt came. Heavy. I pushed it away. He'd posted those things publicly. Borrowed money he didn't repay. Pushed me in a pool. I just connected the dots for Richard. My phone exploded. Sarah calling. I let it go to voicemail. She called again and again. Finally, I answered. "Are you happy now?" She was screaming, actual screaming. "Tyler lost his job. We have a mortgage. Emma's in private school. How are we supposed to survive?" "Sarah, you did this. You vindictive, selfish old man. You destroyed my husband's career because of your hurt feelings." I sent his boss information about his character. What happened after that was Tyler's doing, not mine. He pushed you in a pool, that's it. That's what this is about. You ruined our lives over a stupid joke. It wasn't a joke. It was. And now we're going to lose everything. The house, Emma's school, everything we've built. Are you happy? Is this what you wanted? I took a breath. Let her rage wash over me. When she paused, I said, "You have skills. You can work. Tyler can find another job. You'll figure it out. We needed you to help us. We need money, and you're just sitting there in your little house on your high horse." "You want money?" "Yes. We need $20,000. Just to get through the next few months while Tyler finds something new. You owe us that much." "I owe you?" "Yes. After what you did." "Sarah, I loaned Tyler $11,000 over the years, never got paid back. Not 1 cent. You think I'm loaning more money now? This is different. This is an emergency. Emergencies happen. You deal with them, you budget, you sacrifice, you figure it out. That's life. I can't believe you. My own father, letting his daughter suffer because of some petty grudge. Not a grudge, a boundary. I hate you." Her voice went cold, flat. "I actually hate you right now. Mom would be ashamed." "Maybe. Or maybe she'd understand." "Don't you dare speak for her." "I have her journal, Sarah. You can read it any time. See what she really thought. You're pathetic. A lonely old man with no one left. And you did it to yourself." She hung up. I set the phone down. My hand shook now. Not from anger, from sadness, from the weight of it all. Martha's daughter, my little girl, the one I'd raised, protected, loved. She hated me. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was pathetic, lonely, self-destructive. But I wasn't drowning anymore, and that had to count for something. 2 months passed. Fall came early, leaves turning, temperatures dropping. I settled into a routine: coffee, news, work emails, still consulting part-time, lunch, walk around the neighborhood, dinner, TV, bed. Simple, quiet, lonely, yes, but peaceful in a way it hadn't been in years. No birthday parties where I had to watch Tyler perform, no Sunday dinners where I had to bite my tongue, no babysitting calls at the last minute because their plans changed. Just me, my house, my life. The tulips in the side garden had died back, bulbs underground, waiting for spring. Every time I passed them, I thought of Martha, what she'd say about all this. I wanted to believe she'd support me, understand. But I'd never know for sure. The doorbell rang on a Tuesday afternoon. Late October. I wasn't expecting anyone. Opened the door. Emma stood there, backpack on her shoulders, hair in a ponytail, 8 years old. My granddaughter. "Grandpa?" Her voice small. "Emma." I looked past her. Sarah's car in the driveway. She stayed in the driver's seat, didn't get out. Mom said I could say hi, just for a minute. "Come in, sweetheart." I stepped aside. She hesitated, then entered. I closed the door. "Want some cookies?" "I think I have chocolate chip." "Okay." I led her to the kitchen. Found the cookies I'd bought last week, hoping maybe for something like this. Poured milk, sat across from her at the table. She ate quietly, looking around, at the pictures on the walls, at Martha's chair by the window. "I missed you," she said finally. "I missed you too. Why don't you come over anymore?" How do you explain adult conflicts to an 8-year-old? You don't. Not really. Your dad and I had a disagreement. Sometimes grown-ups need space to work things out. Are you mad at me? Oh, Emma. No, never. This has nothing to do with you. Mom said you chose to leave. I took a breath. That's one way to see it. What's another way? Smart kid. Too smart. Another way is that I chose to be treated with respect. And sometimes that means stepping back from people who won't do that. She nodded. Serious face. Processing. Dad talks about you sometimes. He's angry. I know. Did you really make him lose his job? No. He lost his job because of choices he made. I just gave information to his boss. Mom says that's the same thing. Your mom might be right. She finished her cookie, drank her milk, looked at me with Martha's eyes, Sarah's face, a whole person growing into herself. I don't want you to be gone, Grandpa. I'm not gone. I'm right here, in this house, same as always. But we can't see you. That's up to your parents, sweetheart, not me. I'd love to see you any time. The doorbell rang. Sarah. I opened it. She stood there, arms crossed. Time to go, Emma. Emma hugged me. Quick, tight, then ran to the car. Sarah and I stood in the doorway. She's been asking about you, Sarah said, not looking at me. I'm glad you brought her. Don't think this changes anything. I don't. Tyler's got an interview next week. Good position. We're going to be fine. I'm glad. Stop saying that. What should I say? She finally looked at me. I don't know. Something real. Something that shows you care. I care, Sarah. I've always cared. But caring doesn't mean accepting unacceptable behavior. From Tyler or from you. There it is. The judgment. The moral superiority. Not superiority. Standards. Your standards cost my husband his job. His behavior cost him his job. We stared at each other. Impasse. Same argument, different day. Emma can visit once a month, she said finally. If you want. I want. But you don't get to trash talk Tyler. You don't get to poison her against him. I wouldn't do that. Like you didn't do it to his boss? I told the truth. That's not poisoning. That's informing. She shook her head, tired, older than her 36 years. Once a month, Dad. That's all I can give right now. I'll take it. She walked to the car, drove away. Emma waved from the back window. I waved back. then stood in my doorway watching them disappear. Once a month, better than nothing. Not what I wanted, but what I had. I closed the door, cleaned up the cookie crumbs, washed the dishes, sat in Martha's chair. The house settled around me. Quiet, lonely, but mine. 3 more months passed. Emma visited twice. Short visits, supervised by Sarah, who waited in the car. We played board games, talked about school, avoided anything to do with her parents or the situation. Just grandfather and granddaughter time. Precious. Limited. Better than nothing. Tyler found a new job. Sarah mentioned it during a drop-off. Regional sales position. Less money than before. More travel. But employed. They were surviving. I didn't ask about the mortgage or Emma's school. Didn't offer money. Kept my boundaries. It hurt. Went against every instinct to help my daughter. But I held firm. In February, the tulips started pushing through frozen ground. Tips of green in the side garden. Martha's tulips, coming back like they always did. I knelt beside them one morning, touched the soil, cold, damp, ready for spring. I hope I did the right thing, I said to her, to the ground, to the memory. I hope you'd understand. The tulips didn't answer, just grew, slow, steady, inevitable. In March, Richard Brennan called. "Walter, I have a strange question." "All right." "How would you feel about doing some consulting work for me, part-time, remote mostly? We're expanding our manufacturing division. Need someone with your experience." "I'm 69, Richard." "I'm aware. I'm 67. Age is just a number if you've got the skills. And from what I've researched about your career, you've definitely got the skills. This isn't charity because of the Tyler situation. Hell no. This is me wanting the best person for the job. You interested or not?" I smiled. First real smile in months. "Yeah, I'm interested." "Good. I'll send details. We'll talk money. Fair warning. I pay well, but I expect results." Wouldn't have it any other way. We worked out the details over the next week. Consulting contract, 20 hours a week. Good pay. Better than good. The kind of money that meant security, freedom, options. I started in April, right when the tulips bloomed, red and yellow. Martha's favorites. They filled the side garden, bright against the old house. I took a picture, sent it to Sarah. No message, just the photo. She didn't respond, but she didn't have to. The tulips spoke for themselves, life continuing, beauty returning, cycles completing. The work kept me busy, kept my mind sharp, gave me purpose beyond the conflict with Sarah and Tyler. I helped Richard's firm optimize 3 manufacturing processes, saved them money, improved efficiency, got thanked in a company-wide email, felt good, felt valuable. Not like an old man, like a professional, an expert, someone worth consulting. Emma's 9th birthday came in June. No invitation again. But this time, I didn't expect one. Sent a card with a gift certificate. Books. Emma loved reading. Sarah texted, "She got it. Says thank you." Progress. Small. But progress. In July, I was at the grocery store. Ran into Tyler. Literally. Turned a corner, nearly collided with his cart. We both stopped. Stared. Walter. Tyler. He looked different. Thinner. Tired. Hair not as perfect. How are you? Good. You? Getting by. New job's okay. Lots of travel. I heard. Awkward silence. Other shoppers flowing around us. Look, Tyler said. I've been thinking about everything that happened. I was angry for a long time. Blamed you for a lot. I know. But my therapist, Sarah, made me start going. He's been helping me see things differently. What I did at that party, pushing you, the comments before that, the money I borrowed, that wasn't okay. I didn't say anything. Let him continue. I'm not saying we're good, or that I forgive you for what you did to my career, but I'm saying I understand why you did it. Sort of. Okay. Is that all you're going to say? What do you want me to say? I don't know. That you forgive me? That we can move forward? I thought about it. Did I forgive him? Partly. Did I want to move forward? Depended on what that meant. Tyler, I appreciate you saying this. I do. But forgiveness isn't automatic. And moving forward requires changed behavior, not just apologies. I'm trying to change. Good. Keep trying. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Really sorry. Not just for getting caught, for doing it in the first place. I looked at him, saw something different. Maybe genuine remorse, maybe just therapy talking. Hard to tell. Thank you for saying that. He nodded, pushed his cart past me, stopped, turned back. Richard Brennan's firm hired you, right? Sarah mentioned it. They did. That's good. You're good at what you do. I never should have implied otherwise. He left. I stood there in the cereal aisle holding a box of cornflakes, feeling something shift. Not forgiveness exactly, not reconciliation, but a crack in the wall. Small, barely noticeable, but there. I finished shopping, drove home, called Sarah. She answered on the third ring. Dad? Ran into Tyler at the store. He apologized. He told me he was going to, if he saw you. It felt genuine. It is. He's really working on himself. The job loss, the therapy, everything. It forced him to look at his behavior. I'm glad. Are you? Really? Yes, Sarah. I never wanted Tyler to suffer. I just wanted him to see me as a person. He does now. We both do. I'm glad, I said again. Stop saying that. But her voice was softer, almost teasing. What should I say? Say you'll come to Emma's birthday party next month. She's been asking. Constantly. My throat got tight. I'd like that. It won't be easy. We're all still figuring this out. I know. But it's time. It's been long enough. We talked for 20 more minutes about small things. Emma's school, her reading level, the trip they'd planned for August, normal things, family things, the conversation I'd missed for over a year. When we hung up, I sat in Martha's chair, looked at the tulips outside. They'd bloomed and faded, but they'd be back next spring, and the spring after that. Cycles continuing. life persisting. Emma's party was awkward. Tyler and I danced around each other, polite, distant, but civil. Emma didn't care. She hugged me when I arrived, showed me her presents, introduced me to her friends. "This is my grandpa, Walter." Not shame, not hesitation, pride. I gave her a book. First in a series about a girl detective. She loved mysteries. She opened it, squealed, hugged me again. "Thanks, Grandpa." Worth it, all of it. The conflict, the pain, the loneliness. Worth it for that moment. Sarah and I talked near the end. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting me." "Tyler's trying, Dad, really trying." I saw. "Can you try too?" "I have been." She nodded. "I know. I'm sorry it took me so long to see it." We didn't hug. Weren't there yet. But we stood close, talking, like we used to, like maybe we would again. I left when the party wound down, drove home. The house felt less empty now, less like exile, more like home base. The place I came back to, not the place I was stuck. The consulting work continued. Richard offered me more projects. I accepted some, declined others, maintained balance, worked enough to stay engaged, rested enough to enjoy life. Emma started visiting more, every other week, then weekly. Tyler would drop her off sometimes. We'd exchange pleasantries. "How's work? How's the weather?" Small talk that slowly became easier. One Saturday in October, a year after Emma's surprise visit, Tyler stayed for coffee when he dropped her off. We sat at my kitchen table while Emma played in the yard. "I got promoted," he said. "Regional manager. Congratulations. It's not what I had before, but it's progress. Progress matters." He sipped his coffee. "I've been thinking about the money, the 11,000. I want to pay you back." "Tyler, no, listen. I can't pay it all at once, but I can do installments, 500 a month. Would that work?" I looked at him. Serious face. Genuine offer. "You don't have to. I do. For me. Part of the therapy work, making amends, cleaning up my side of the street." "All right then. 500 a month." He nodded. "And Walter? About the way I treated you. The age comments. The disrespect. I'm ashamed of that now, really ashamed. We all do things we're ashamed of. You didn't. You set a boundary, held it, even when it cost you. That takes strength. I didn't see it then. I see it now." We finished our coffee. Emma came inside, grass-stained and happy. Tyler left. I watched his car drive away. Something had shifted, not back to before. We'd never go back to before, but forward to something new, something built on honesty instead of obligation. If you liked this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.